Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Football Palestine Extra, where we break down all the news that is happening in the world of Palestinian football. We are at the end of the domestic season in many parts of the world. It's early June. If you're watching this video, you probably know that we are, give or take, about 48 hours away from Palestine's crucial World Cup qualifier against Kuwait in Kuwait City. We are going to take the majority of this video to preview that. Just before I get into that, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. If you are watching this video and you're somehow not subscribed, please subscribe. Even if you're a free subscriber, that really helps me get the word out about Palestinian football. And I think we just don't have enough people talking about this national team and about their accomplishments that they've achieved, not only in their history, but especially in the last 2 years or so in extremely difficult circumstances. As many of you might know, we're running a competition now. We are going to hold a raffle and give away a free Palestine jersey. If you're the winner, you can choose either the red away or the white home, any size you want. That's a competition we're running with our friends at Subside Sports. If you are a free subscriber, you get one ticket to the raffle. If you're a paying subscriber, you get 100 tickets. So if you needed more of an incentive to upgrade your subscription to paid, this is it. Uh, I've also made some changes on the Substack itself. I've added a national team statistics section. Most of that information is free. Paying subscribers, you get access to the mother load of old data sets. So uh, I have every single player that has ever represented Palestine in an official match, the amount of caps they have, the amount of goals they've scored, how many of those caps were substitute appearances, how many were starts. I've got a record of every single official Palestine game ever played, all 215 of them, plus 50 odd unofficial matches dating all the way back to 1953. There's a lot of information. There's just a lot of information that not even the Palestine Football Association has. And this is kind of the work I do behind the scenes to inform people about what I think is the greatest national team in the world. Obviously, I'm biased here. So uh, if you're on the fence about subscribing or getting a paid subscription, please reconsider. It's only $8 a month or $80 for the entire year, and you get access to exclusive information at the end of this video. As you know, these videos are for premium subscribers. Free subscribers get to see the first 10 minutes or so, and then the rest is behind a paywall. If you're a paying subscriber, I've got a really nice story out of this camp about one of the players, and it really goes to show their dedication to the national team. So I'll share that at the end of this video, so it'll be behind the paywall. But I think a very, very nice story that most of you will enjoy. And maybe it'll make it out there into the general public after round three is over. So we'll put a pin in it as far as housekeeping is concerned, and we're going to go straight into Palestine's preparations for this match against Kuwait. Some of you might have read the preview piece that is up on the website. It has been delivered via Substack to your inboxes. This is an interesting match because in Group B, nobody is qualified, nobody's eliminated. This match is basically last chance saloon for both Palestine and Kuwait, who do not have control of their own destiny, but I think they come in with two very, very different mindsets. Uh, Palestine knew after losing to Jordan on March 20th that there were 3 games left, and each game was a final. And their first match against Iraq, a team they've never beaten, a team that was fancied to qualify directly to the World Cup, that was extra focused because they somehow dropped points against Kuwait in Basra. Um, that seemed like it was going to be insurmountable. The Palestine played well. They came back to record a historic victory, the first ever victory in round three, and the first ever victory against Iraq, and one of a few comeback victories. So in the 215 official matches Palestine has played, I have to look up how many were come from behind victories. I want to say It's definitely less than 10. I think it's like more than 5, less than 10. So Palestine doesn't come from behind to win many games. So this was historic on multiple levels. But you just got the sense that all of a sudden there's momentum, and all of a sudden there's pressure lifted off of this team. And everything that happened in the 7 games leading up to the Iraq game can kind of be put to one side now, that they're not really burdened. Before they were kind of burdened by, well, we played well enough to get a draw here, we lost. We played enough to get a win here, we drew. And if you got to look at it, I mean, and that's also football, right? So football is about taking your chances when they come to you. But I felt in a couple of circumstances they were really, really hard done by. I thought, particularly the Kuwait and Oman matches. I mean, they were better than Oman in Muscat. That game probably should have ended in a draw. Palestine couldn't finish. If you can't finish, you won't be able to score, and you don't score, you're not going to get more than a draw. I felt like that match probably should have ended in a draw. It didn't. But the one where they were really hard done by was the Kuwait match. And, watching it again over the weekend just to kind of figure out what was different back then, what had happened. Kuwait gets a penalty that's reviewed by VAR. Yes, but a letter of the law, it's a penalty. Palestine also has a penalty in the first half. Wissam Abu Ali steps up to convert it, but there's a long, long time where it just keeps getting reviewed. And the more you look at it, the more you just realize, oh my God, there's carnage in the box. There's like multiple career-ending tackles on Warda got fouled, then Wissam Abu Ali got fouled. So you just kind of look there and you're like, okay, like, are they going to give a red card? That's probably what's going to happen here, right? The denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, dangerous play, tackle from behind, something. And there was no red card awarded. Okay, Palestine goes into the second half 1-1 with the momentum. You feel like they can take care of this game in the second half. And 5-6 minutes into the second half, Camille Saldana gets sent off for his second booking. And the first booking was a little bit questionable. It wasn't like he was persistently fouling. Now his second foul was, I think, definitely it's a professional foul. It's worthy of a yellow card. But you kind of sit there and you're like, okay, well, this is really harsh. You kind of look at whether or not the game has been being officiated in the same way. And Kuwait's players were being super rough. I remember, Adel Kharoub nearly got his knee dislocated. And I believe it was by Yusuf Nasser, who was on a yellow card. I don't remember the specifics. It might have been another player. Or I think they showed it only a yellow card. But you look at the replay, and I believe it also went to VAR. And it was like, that's a red. That is a red. And you have the video technology. Why is a red not being shown? Now, Palestine concede. They go down 2-1. They're scrambling. And I thought they created a lot of chances despite being reduced to 10 men. And they got their just reward. They got an equalizer by Zaid Qumbar. For some reason, that goal was reviewed for 2 minutes by VAR. It stood. And you're thinking, okay, well, those 2 minutes, because that goal came in extra time, will be added on as extra time to the extra time, or to the time added on, rather. And then, the whistle blows, like, with only 30 seconds additionally on, I believe, the 7 minutes that were signaled, and in the middle of a Palestine counterattack. So I just thought the referee in that game was so horrible, and his decisions really affected Palestine. If we're kind of looking back, that's the game where you feel, yeah, like luck just conspired against the team. I don't really know how else to describe what happened in that match. So we are now in this scenario where Palestine kind of controls their own destiny. It is sort of win both these games and you'll go through, with one caveat, and that caveat is the most plausible qualifying scenario is that Palestine needs Jordan not to lose against Oman. And that game is being played immediately afterwards, or immediately before, sorry. So Palestine Kuwait kicks off almost immediately at the conclusion of that game. 7 p.m. Jerusalem time. Oman Jordan, and 9:15 p.m. Jerusalem time, Kuwait versus Palestine. So they'll know the result before taking the pitch. And that game is also one that Kuwait will also be looking out for because Kuwait will be eliminated with Oman win. Palestine will not be eliminated,